So this is our first feedback forum of the year, and what this is designed to do it's really like an open forum. You can bring anything that you want for feedback. You can ask for advice, tips, we can mastermind things. So it's really open to whatever you want to bring. So I know that Rachel does have something that she wants us to look at, and we can do that. You can bring up anything that you wanted to work through from our intensive session. So if you attended the intensive session, if you had a question or you want help thinking through something, or it can be from our 90-minute business clinic that we did earlier in the month. So it really can be anything that you need help with. So what I'm going to recommend is that if you have something specific that you want to touch on today, let's go ahead and just post that in chat so that I can get a look at what we have, so I can figure out how to best use our time. So I'll give you a moment to just jot that down. And Deetra is joining us. Deetra, I was just letting the ladies know that if you have something particular that you want to go through or get feedback on or get coaching on, post that in chat, and that way we'll take a look at it and figure out how we're going to spend our time.
Okay, I'm in the car driving, so I'm going to go on mute.
Okay, no problem. Okay. Yeah, Sherry, I was thinking that too when I saw your name pop up. So yeah, we can get feedback on the logo.
Because Brian's a guy. You know?
Yeah, we tailored it. We tailored it for your hubby.
We kind of did. But yeah. I do like the shield that he's holding. I like that. Okay. More three-dimensional, but
yeah,
you know.
Okay, all right. So Rachel, we're gonna get feedback on the VIP members page. Sherry is a logo look. Cindy needs to create a new lead magnet, needs help on what to focus on. Julie, I want to look at my pricing and what is required to produce the $1 that you want.
The money I want.
Oh, oh, the money.
You just want $1?
Julie, I'll give you $1.
That's right. Everybody just give.
We'll get that GoFundMe page up for you.
I can tell the prayer challenge is wearing me down. I'm telling you right now. I can tell. I'm not as sharp as I was a week ago.
Hey, we got like 11 days left. You can do it.
I know. I'm actually doing better than I thought I would. So, okay. Well, Rachel, do you want to share the page? You want to kick us off and share?
Sure, ladies. So Angie put me in charge of updating the members page, and it's been a learning experience. So I'm going to share that screen now, and then I'll drop the link in chat. Actually, I can't share that. Hold on. I don't know. Wait, hold on.
Whoa.
There we go. There it is. Can you see that?
Yep.
All right. So then let me drop this in chat if anybody wants to view it in chat. I don't know where you went. Okay, so basically what I did was, and I'm just going to assume you guys can hear me because I have no idea where you disappeared to.
We can hear you.
Okay. Oh, and now we're not sharing my screen. There we go.
You are sharing your screen.
Okay. So there's the link if you want to go to the actual page, if you have like two screens or you're available to do that. What I've tried to do was really make it specific in sections and simplified. So for example, here's the VIP business library. most things link to something. There are a couple of pages where I'm waiting on a link, which is totally cool. But what I really included was the Zoom links for reoccurring meetings, and then all the calendar links. So that's where I worked to. This section is still under construction. And Angie, I do want to figure out how to upload these again so I can like take off January, bump up February, add April, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So thoughts, comments?
This
I
looks
like it.
amazing. It really does. I love it.
I agree. It looks really good.
Yeah.
If you can, I don't know if anybody can, but if you want to click on buttons, just check out things. My favorite is this button right here. So.
And by the way, if you haven't seen the Beach Retreat questionnaire, we've gotten lots of responses. So if being a business member, if you want to go to the Beach Retreat, you need to fill out that questionnaire, by the way.
Yeah, the other ones don't seem to work yet.
Which ones?
The intensive clinic.
Yes.
It's not where the business beach retreat.
Yeah, the
Purple Light.
purple, yeah, a couple of, like I said, don't work. But I did double check and triple check because I'm just a little OCD about it, that all the Zoom links connect you to the right Zoom room.
Oh, that's awesome, actually, because
And
yeah.
as members, you all have access to this page, so you might want to bookmark that.
Yeah, the plan is February to just say, all right, it's officially launched. So we'll do that in VIP Connect. And just a word about the business beach retreat and the intensive clinic. The business beach retreat, we don't have a page built for that yet. I've been working as quickly as I can to get everything updated. But right now, that's more of, it's a plan that's in place, but we haven't built the page. The intensive clinics, so we have 3 different ones, and would it be beneficial for that link to go to the events page where we have all of the intensive clinics listed that you can sign up for? Well, actually, I just answered my own question because this is under the special events category. It's not a link to the Google Drive.
Correct.
Yes.
And like the networking dinner links to the
Circles page.
page.
Yep.
I didn't know if there was a page similar to this for the intensive clinics.
There's not. It's just on the events and workshop page.
Oops, sorry guys, I just deleted that, so I'm gonna stop sharing. I just closed it out, so unless you have some feedback that you want me to go back into it.
The only
I love the
thing,
calendars on here. This is helpful. So I don't miss anything.
Yeah.
I know when everything's happening. But the intensive clinics, there's more than one of those, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
So that's why it's not linked to anything at the moment. I was waiting to see if Angie wanted me to have like intensive clinic April and then intensive clinic, I think the last one's in July.
Yeah, it's July.
July, like if she wanted 2 buttons or if she just had one page that she wanted it to go to. And Angie, if you send me that whenever you decide, it's not an urgent, well, it's a somewhat urgent, but not a must be answered today question.
Well, we don't, I mean, this is for, if these are special events, then it just needs to go to the events and workshops page because that's where the 2 intensive clinics that are left are scheduled that they can sign up for.
Okay.
So it's just, you would click that You would click that and you would, the link that you would add would be a page, one of our pages. It's the events page.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you're linking it to.
All right. I didn't know if you wanted me to link it to a registration.
Well, when you go to the events page and you click on the intensive, it will take you to registration.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Any other feedback?
So, yeah, so for a person to get to this page, they, let's say that I'm a Purple Life member only. So when I get to this page, is the rest of that gonna be non-available?
No, currently it's available to everybody.
Okay.
And honestly, I don't think I don't think we would have an issue with people jumping on things that they're not a part of. And if we do, we just say, hey, are you interested in, you know? Otherwise I'd basically have to do a members page for Purple and a members page for business. And a lot of ladies who are business members are Purple Life members as well. So I don't know that that would be, well,
Well,
everybody's thoughts. This is feedback form, so.
so here's my feedback from a year ago. So like when I joined, I could not get in my brain what the difference was between membership, sponsorship, what I was supposed to be in and what I wasn't supposed to be in. The only thing that helped me is I knew I was at the highest level, so I assumed I had everything. So having, and maybe it's prior to this page, or maybe, I don't know, but having explanations of what is Purple Life limited to, and what is VIP business members, what is a VIP business member, that type of thing. Some type of definitions that would potentially be a pop-up. That would be my only suggestion, whether it be here or maybe it's a page that you enter into before you get to the members page. I don't know. But it was very confusing for me when I first started. I'm getting the lingo now, but back then it was difficult to figure out what the heck I was.
Yeah, and since then, as a matter of fact, in the last several weeks, we have built out a specific page that shows the business memberships and the, what all comes with it. And we've done the same thing for Purple Life. So I think, don't we have the links to those pages? We were actually talking about this week, Rachel, about the membership pages.
I will tell you that the membership pages that you all sent out for this year, I took those and put them into a chart so I could figure out, because reading it the way I was is like, okay, I'm not computing. I want to be able to pick and choose what was important to me. And so making it into a table would be another suggestion I would have. Unless, there was a reason you didn't do it that way, sales wise, I don't know.
Angie, I'm not sure I followed what you stated. Can you say it again?
We were looking for buttons that link directly so that they can look at their membership. So scroll down. I thought we had a section for that. Okay. No, what I was thinking that we had a conversation about having the buttons on here that lead directly to the
Google Docs?
No.
Okay.
We can talk about this offline.
Okay.
Let's do that. We'll set up a meeting and I'll show you what I have. I also created an opportunities guide that I just put as a lead magnet on our homepage that even has the Purple Life, the business memberships lined out, and then the partnerships.
Okay.
So that is something that we could also send. But I know what you're saying, Julie. You want to know what is in your membership, what you have and what you don't have.
Yeah, that and then if I'm a Purple Life member, if I paid for that, but I can get into the business members library, why would I want to pay for the library?
Actually, you can't, because the even though you see the business library, you have to enter a password to get to that. And you guys know it's VIP member is the password, all caps. We know that, but that password can change at any time. So technically the Purple Lifers can't get into that without the password. So they're not, anything that's on the page that Rachel created, there's nothing really that they're going to access that would be, a no trespassing area, so to speak.
Get out of here.
But I love what you're saying. About they want to know the difference. That was something that I definitely want everybody, because people are saying, now what's in my membership? Now what's in my partnership? And the last few months, I've done a lot of work to try to sort that out so that it can be clear. And I want everybody to have easy access to that.
Mhm.
And I know that we've been trying to send out welcome emails and texts and saying, as a part of the business membership, these are the meetings you're invited to. As a part of the Purple Life membership, these are the meetings you're invited to. So is that helping at all for the new people? Well, none of us are really new, so I don't, but I know that's one thing we were trying. But yeah, definitely, Angie, let me know when you want to schedule a meeting. And
Okay. Tomorrow is not a good day. It is a full day. So,
this afternoon works for me too. I'm just trying to get it done before Friday, or I guess, no, it's next Friday. Sorry.
okay.
I thought VIP was on Friday. It's actually next Friday. So,
All right.
All right. Thank you, ladies.
Looks great, Rachel. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to look at Sherry's logo that we went through several iterations. And by the way, Sherry, I deleted the other variations.
Okay.
Just have the one. So I'm going to share this with you guys. And you give some feedback on what you think about Sherry's logo. And Sherry, so tell them a little bit about the transition that you're going through.
So Borshoff Consulting is kind of going to go into the background. We're going to DBA it as Bastion Tax Services. And then I started a second LLC corporation, Bastion Business and Tax Services, so that it's very clear what I do and who I do it for. And this iteration was actually my husband's idea. I mean, I like that the shield it looks more three-dimensional now, and Bastion is kind of like that. I don't know what that font is, but I would say it's close to like Bookman Old Style or something like that, So I just want to hear what ladies think about it, because my husband's a guy and he likes it. I like this. I like the build a fortress around your business, going around that scoop or whatever. That would be cool on business cards and stuff like that. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now.
Well, and here's something to compare this to. So Sherry's current logo is directly behind her.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like a Bitcoin.
That's my always thought, is every time I see you, I think of Bitcoin.
I mean, I have people ask me if that's Bitcoin, and I'm like, no, Bitcoin stole it from me. I did it first. The whole concept of that logo is I wanted to be on a balanced scale. And then the reason for like this transition is because the word consulting can mean so many different things. And I considered like just putting the word tax into that. We've talked about maybe doing that, but then as I get older and grow to the point where, maybe down the road, I'm going to want to retire or semi-retire and sell my business. Nobody's going to want to buy it with my name all over it. So, um, those kind of thoughts were going through my head, and I just love the idea of being a fortress for people when it comes to like their financial and tax situation, especially if they're running a small business. So I think the whole idea is to be more straightforward about who I serve and what I do for them. So
We want to point out, so in 2024, as part of your partnership, we were working on a facelift for your current website. And so that meant that we changed up the branding colors a bit to be more closely fit to what you were moving towards. So these, as part of the branding colors, there are some some charcoal grays in there to balance it out. The colors are pretty bold, but yet refined. So
yeah, that kind of whole conversation morphed into this, but Angie just didn't know what she was getting into. So that whole conversation kind of morphed into this. Well, if we're gonna like do a rebrand, let's rebrand, and I'm excited and scared all at the same time. I can't really describe the feeling, but it's a transition year, and I've been doing this for this is my 15th year in business as owning my own firm, and so I've heard that doing a transition like this sometimes just makes everything better too. So that's what we're hoping. So
all right, well, let's hear some feedback from y'all. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Rachel asked the question, what's Bastion?
It's a fortress.
I don't think that most people would know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was your last name until I looked at your last name.
Oh, no, a bastion is another word for fortress. In fact, if you Google fortress and you Google bastion, you get the same picture. You get a picture of a like old castle with the walls around it, and so I guess that's why the tag. I think build a fortress around your business is kind of.
Did you add the word tax in front of fortress? Build a tax fortress around your business? Because I like the one that says business and tax services because it's very clear, but I like the scoop too because it catches your eye. But
Yeah, well, I was thinking for like letterhead, and so my engagement letters would be on like a letterhead style, and like maybe if we could do the build a fortress around your business and then do bastion business and tax services, underneath it. I know I just don't know if it's too much or.
Well, I mean, in that's an easy fix that we could do that. That's a lot right there. I mean, usually a logo stands by itself and you put the words next to it that get caught in Google search and SEO where, you have the logo and then it says your business and tax services. In terms of building a fortress, I mean, I didn't know what it was until you told me, Sherry. So it's just clear that as we do your rebrand and redo your website, that we're going to have some explanation around that right there on that, on that front page. And it might even say, what is Bastion, and there's just a very quick explanation of that so people get it.
Yeah, when I look at, like, I would have no, like, obviously being in this community, we get to know each other, but if I just was like passing by and saw that, I would never reach out to you because I really don't know what you do. You know what I mean? There's nothing in there that tells me what you do. Therefore, how do I know that I want your services or might want to inquire your services or connect in any way? So
Well, I think I'd like the business and tax services under Bastion because that's the name of the company,
Yeah.
you know, but the
I-
build a fortress around your business, I think is, in my opinion, which, you know, may or may not count. I think it's a good tagline.
oh, it is.
Um,
It's an excellent tagline. It doesn't tell me what you do though. When you
No.
say that, it could be so many different things. Like in my mind, I would be like, oh, wow, that's great. And I think I'm reaching out to you in my mind for what that means to me, as opposed to what in reality it is in actuality, as you're the owner, you know what I mean? What you mean for it. You might have a conflict there because people are be reaching out thinking, oh, okay, this is awesome. It is a great tagline. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when looking at it, I have no idea exactly what it is that you do.
Yeah, I I agree with Deetra. Having tax in the headline brings clarity. Like when I saw the build a fortress around your business, the first thing I thought of was cybersecurity.
Oh, yeah, yeah. There's probably a company out there that, I mean, when I was searching on, what was he sending? GoDaddy for like domains, Bastion Tax is already taken. So Bastion Business Tax is not taken. So I think that's probably going to be the domain name going forward, or Bastion Tax or Bastion Tax Services, maybe. But there is also, because I just kind of searched GoDaddy for the word Bastion. There's a Bastion Legal, there's a Bastion something else that does cyber, or not cyber, but computer security, I guess. I guess that is cyber security. But
I'll say, Sherry, that, and this may be my demented mind, but when it first popped up, I read bastard. When it first popped up, that's what I read.
oh no. Well, we don't want that.
No, I'm not saying go with that, but I'm just saying,
Oh,
Well,
I
and
don't know.
think about this. I mean, let's think about all the brands out there. Like you have Nike, you have Amazon, you have all of these names, and without the explanation, you really wouldn't know what those stood for. So that just says that whatever logo we have, with the name, it all requires a little bit of explanation. And so that requires some good marketing and branding work, getting it out there and talking about what you do with that logo, and just getting the brand association going. So it'll just require work to do that.
I do love the logo.
Yeah, and he did an amazing. I mean, I gave her pictures of knights and shields and swords, and she put it all together. So the castle in the background is indicative of what the word bastion means, because that's what it is. It's a castle, a fortress. And then the knight and the shield is, that's who I want to be. I want to be that person that stands in front of the taxpayer and defends them. So,
So what business aspects do you offer? Because what I've heard of you is you're more taxes. So is business a needed part of that?
absolutely. We offer bookkeeping, payroll, We pay for our self-employed, well, several of our self-employed. We don't do it for all of them, but doctors especially, we pay their quarterly estimated taxes for them because they wouldn't do it. So we pay their taxes for them using their accounts, of course, but it's a whole gamut of services that going forward to, I'm really putting together what's called a client services package, which would include all those elements and quarterly meetings with me to, you know, kind of working on, Angie's going to be working on my website while I'm pounding out tax returns. So kind of working on what the hero story is so that we can kind of tell a story about who that ideal client might be, you know. So yes, it's business services in the aspects of we do your accounting for you if you pay us to do that. We also will pay your taxes for you. And, you know, so you can concentrate on running your business instead of keeping up with the financial sides.
Cool.
Hey, we just recorded that. We just recorded that, and that was a great commercial. We'll do taxes for you.
Yeah, I mean, H&R Block recently started a commercial campaign where you don't have to come into our office. You can just send us your stuff and we'll do it and send it back to you. Hopefully it's all secure, but I've been doing that for like the last 5 years. Each client has a secure portal, and as long as they have everything uploaded, they tell me when everything is in there, we do their tax return. We do it all remotely. I mean, they don't even have to come in to sign it. They just sign it remotely, and then it's done. So yeah, everything that I do to further answer your question, Rachel, it's all centered around the tax questions. You know, like sometimes you won't believe well, maybe you would, but what small business owners ask me if they can write off as a business expense.
Ladies, we're going to move on to, we got 2 other ladies, so we're going to go ahead and move on. We've got Cindy who wants to create a new lead magnet. So Cindy, tell us a little bit more about what you're wanting to do.
Yeah, so right now I have a lead magnet on there that is designed to kind of help us get encouragers or women who want to come and be an encourager or a mentor to the women that we help in our program. And when I first started this, there was just a lot of ideas about what qualifications that person needed to meet. And I think it's just too much what we have on there. So I've changed a lot of things over time and kind of realized that those qualifications kind of scare people away, and we're really not asking everybody to engage in the same way. The women that we help need support, friendship, encouragement in a lot of different areas of their life. And so they may have 4 or 5 people speaking into their life at the same time, just for different things. So I really want to just engage women who love Jesus and who believe that sharing that love with other women that need help and support and nurturing can make an impact.
Okay, so in terms of a lead magnet can be lots of different things. I mean, it could be the PDF. It could be a video. Could be usually, I mean, it could be something that you're giving away, or, maybe it's an invitation to a training or all kinds of things. So when you're thinking of lead magnet, let's first of all let's be sure we're clear on the target audience. So based on what Cindy just said, what do you think her target audience is?
Christian women who want to talk or speak Jesus into someone else's life. That's what I got from what she said anyway.
Okay. How about the rest of you?
I heard volunteer mentors.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, I feel like I heard she's looking for, I'm just gonna call them supporters of her ministry.
I heard local to Indianapolis.
So, this is where I'm needing some guidance. If I did an opportunity guide,
A note caller.
would that be? Because I mean, one of the reasons that I'm connected to the VIP Center is that, one, I get great mentoring myself, and that, I love I love you ladies, and just having the camaraderie and collaboration around these things. But also it's an opportunity for me as to gain Christian volunteers who might come and do a workshop based on your expertise for these women that we mentor. It might be a one and done type thing. So I'm looking for people to do that, to do like life skills workshops with these women, as well as become more committed volunteers to walk alongside them as encouragers. So it's kind of twofold there.
To me, that's, from a personal standpoint, I would love to come in and teach business entrepreneurship, right? But I wouldn't be very good at necessarily walking alongside any ladies. I would for a short period of time, but a long-term stint that's not my personality. And I wouldn't be very good at it. And I would, after about the third conversation, just say, well, suck it up. And you don't.
Oh, you'd be better at it than you think, Julie. Pretty much what I do.
Get over yourself.
Get over yourself. I'm sorry you got spanked. But anyway.
When you say
Two
walk
different
along, sorry, I'm sorry, Julie. Are you finished?
Yes.
Sorry about that. When you say walk alongside, what clicked off in my mind is discipleship, because that's what discipleship is. You take a journey, you walk through life with them, and you help them. You in their struggles, you teach them how to walk with the Lord. So when you say that, that's what my mind heard. Yeah. Sorry, Julie. I hope I didn't cut you off. I thought you were done.
Yeah, no, I was. That as far as lead magnet goes, Cindy, to me, the video would be the direction I would go, with testimonies, between short clips between the mentor and the mentee. And this is what it meant to me, and this is what it meant to me. Somebody that is going to hit their heart. I'm not going to read anything, but if I saw, a video that was heart touching, I probably then would go, this is a cool thing. And whether it be for me or somebody I know, and then, grabbing their information. And then that's when you start, here's qualifications, or here's whatever. But I personally would go video.
I like the video idea, but I also think a class, like, hey, are you interested in possibly being? Well, come check out this class, have it for 90 minutes in person or online. And kind of like test drive it before you sign up for it.
So I have some different thoughts on it. One, when I hear the word mentor, I think of a formal program and I think of a long-term commitment, but that could be because of business. So, but what I hear you as the conversation goes is I hear is you're kind of looking, what I hear is you are looking for people to encourage and support the women, but then you're also looking for teachers who can come in and teach life skills, whether that life skill be budgeting, whether that life skill be something else. So I guess I see kind of two different volunteers you're looking for. Those that may be like a one-hit wonder. Maybe Julie would come in and teach, but she doesn't want to commit to like 6 months of being encouraging someone. So being that I am a structured person, I guess I'd like a little better definition of what you're looking for, than getting into the qualifications, if that's what you're trying to say, are you qualified? So, but I'm a very structured person. So that's kind of my 2 cents.
I'm
That's
kind of
good
agreeing
feedback.
with Karen on that. Because I'm a structured person too, and the one and to Julie's point too, the one and done's easy. I could come in and teach budgeting, no problem, to a group of ladies. But to commit to a long-term like mentorship, um, it depends on the person, but I'm only going to listen to them whine for so long before I say, get over it, suck it up. This is how life goes. You pray constantly. I pray every day. That helps. But I don't know what else to tell you besides that. So that I think if those are the people that you're primarily having trouble finding, that's what the lead magnet probably needs to focus on, are those ladies who are willing to commit to like maybe a 6-month program where they're assigned one of your people in need and they kind of like become best friends for 6 months. Um, that was kind of what I got from the whole conversation anyway.
So
So, oh,
I will just say that you got 2 different target audiences here, the volunteers and the speakers. And to me, there's a simple solution to that. I love the idea of the video, but the video would be for the volunteers because that is more of a longer term kind of thing that you're asking them to become involved with. Speakers can be treated just like we do for our events. You have a link that says, hey, are you a speaker that can talk on these topics? Apply to be a speaker, right? When you position it like that, people are more likely to, people are always looking for opportunities to speak. And if you're doing a call for speakers, maybe you create a survey monkey that says these are the topics that we're looking for speakers for, and they can click the ones that fit them best. And that's more of a one-off thing that you're doing. You've got a button on your front page that says, are you a speaker? Are you a speaker? You get them, that button leads to the survey, and then you just call them up and you line them up. The video, I agree, more heartfelt. You've got plenty of material to work with on that, actually, Cindy. I mean, you've got women who have testified on video, and it'd be pretty easy to put that together.
Yeah, I appreciate the feedback. Karen, you brought up a good point. I try not to use the word mentoring when I'm actually speaking, to a group that I'm calling for encouragers out of, because that's why, because mentoring means something different. So really what we're looking for is Christian women to become friends, to just create a friendship, a relationship, to be somebody that can impart and disciple them. And like I said, it's really hard for me to articulate that because it's so relational, and it's not what it has. It was a kind of a contact thing at one time. Like, we had a 6-month commitment and we wanted them to spend, 6 hours a month face to face, that kind of thing. Well, those are pretty big time constraints for people. So not only for the volunteers, but also for the participants. So what is working well now is just a naturally organic, hey, we're texting each other, we're sending devotions, we may have a phone call once in a while, and then we ask the encouragers to, when they first start, to come to our groups. We have a support group once a week, and that's really the only way I know how to, people who are interested in doing that, that's the only way I know how to connect people, is that you really got to spend time in a room with somebody to know if you're going to connect with them. I used to try to put people together, and we had these sessions where we would come in and just kind of like, the people who were encouragers would talk to the participants, and then we spend a few moments, and then we switch partners, and somebody told me it felt like speed dating, so we it just wasn't working. So I mean, really, I do think you have to be called to this. As far as being an encourager, you have to have compassion around it. But Julie and Sherry, don't discount the fact that I pretty much mentor the same way. I have the same attitude, is we are empowering these women. We are not enabling them, and we are not wallowing with them in their demise. We are trying to lift them up, show them the gifts that they have, stir up those gifts, because that's what the Bible tells us to do, is to stir up those gifts, encourage one another, edify one another. So we're constantly doing that to, kind of pull them out of the victim mentality. And that's what we want people to do.
So that sounds like a good video. This is what we're looking for. This is how it plays out. Kind of, you meet 3 or 4 weeks. This is what we're not looking for. If you're interested, contact me. So I think you kind of have the 3 phases right there for your video. You just need to refine your message a little bit.
I just put into ChatGPT to name a mentorship program and use biblical names. And the reason I did that is because you are wanting to pull in Christian women, right? So they're going to identify with something in scripture, right? And I mean, it came out with a ton of really cool things. Naomi Ruth mentorship program, Esther something, I don't know. But, and maybe you already have it named, but if you don't, you might give that some thought. And then sign me up, Cindy, I'll help.
It was Connecting Hearts is what we were using in the past. And it was, 1 Thessalonians 5:11 to encourage one another in the love of Christ. So those are things we've used. But that, I mean, sometimes I need to get back to the beginning. So this is good conversation to help me do that. Get back to the basics. I mean,
yeah. But I'm happy to help any way you need me. If you need me one-on-one, just don't get mad at me when I tell them to get a life. Give me somebody.
They're trying to get the life. They're trying to get the life.
They're seeking change. And so that spirit's always there. We just have to help pull them out of the old mindsets, just kind of like we're doing now. We may be a little further along, but we all need that encouragement and inspiration and motivation to, some people
It's an ongoing project, actually. It's an ongoing project. I tell my family, my employees often, it's okay to not be okay for a minute. Don't try to live there. You're going to try to live there. There's nothing else I can do. I can't help you. So I think this group of women is a great place to start. Like maybe present it to this group of, the VIP Center members at large, because I think we all want to help. It's just, what capacity, are different mindsets. What's that going to look like? So
yeah. And I see, I have pulled some women from the VIP Center to, from this group to, Brandy Greenleaf came and did a workshop on, finances. I have another lady who's going to do some things for us, but I'm trying to really kind of I see the value in that more so. I mean, we do have people who are mentoring, and that's the part I love. So I touch base with a lot of women, but it's good to have these building blocks, because in that encouraging relationship, not only are we discipling with the Word of God, but we can also take that into, hey, we you just went to this workshop. Let's talk about what you learned. Let's talk about how to implement that into your life. Let's talk about, I mean, these are ways to build their personal growth, as well as, we're doing simultaneously building their spiritual growth, having spiritual growth too. So.
All right, ladies, we've got 6 minutes left, and I know Julie has,
Thank
she wants to learn how to make the money that she wants to, and looking at your pricing. So Julie, talk to us
Okay.
more about what you're trying to do.
Well, it's straight off of the seminar you had last week,
Yeah, the intensive.
the worksheet you did, and if you'll allow me to share, you did.
Yes.
So I just created a from that I created what it is I need, right? And so my desire is to have 15,000 per month in revenue. I'm currently at 9,000. And that's all coming right here from the one-on-one coaching.
Mhm.
Is draining, and I hope to get out of it, but that's the moneymaker right now. 15,000 is 180 grand annually. And mind you, I'm it, right? I don't have any staff or anything, so that's sufficient money for me. So then I went in and I said, okay, what are my products? My products: group coaching, evergreen, speaking, and workshops. And so if 60% of my income is coming from one-on-one, then I just went across the board 10, 10, 10, 10.
Mhm.
Okay. So what this is, and if I do a monthly charge for group coaching of $200 a month, I Googled it. That didn't seem high enough to me, but according to ChatGPT, that's on the high end for Central Indiana for group coaching. I would need 7.5 participants, and that would provide me $1,500 monthly. If in evergreen type of materials, I'm going after the Planet Fitness model, or $10 a month. People will pay that till the day they die. Don't even think about it. If I 10% of my income is off of that, I need 150 subscriptions on that. This is, and this 150, I can get to there. I mean, of course, books and whatnot will come through there, and it'll be more expensive in some areas. So I'm not, column D, I'm not very worried about. Column E and F seem completely non-doable. If I had a one-time fee charge of $500 a month, or for every speaking engagement, and 500 would be high for churches, be really low for corporate, right?
Yeah.
But that's 36 events. Number one, I don't want to speak 36 times. That's 3 times a month. That's just way too much. And then workshops, same thing. I Googled, okay, what's the average cost per person of a workshop in Indianapolis? $89 is what came up. Well, that's 202 annual events just to get 10% of my need.
Right.
None of that is doable. So what am I missing?
So looking at these numbers in terms of the workshop, it really depends on your audience, because, for workshops, for example, if you start going after more corporate gigs, you can get 10,000 per workshop. You can, if you're doing, for example, I know here in Indiana, going rate for, if you're doing some type of team offsite, for example, some kind of team training, then you can get on a conservative level $5,000 for a day event. So it's really the type of event that you're trying to go after. I mean, workshops, in my mind, are part of your funnel.
Yeah.
As opposed to, really, just trying to strike it rich there.
Well, okay, but you can get that kind of money. What can I get?
You can too. So you have a niche around franchising, right?
You know,
So what are some of the things that you do in that? What do you teach people in terms of franchising?
same thing I teach. I mean, the same thing any business owner would learn. The franchising portion of it is just working the systems, which is what you tell your business owner. It just happens to be the franchisor gave you the system. Right. And so non-franchisees, I would create the system or help them create their system. Franchisees, I would say, what is your system and are you working it?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, Angie, is that's not where I want to spend my time.
Yeah.
Where do you want to spend your time?
I want to spend my time in faith-based things or faith-based nonprofits, cause-related nonprofits. Like I had a nonprofit I thought for sure was going to say yes, $500 a month, and they called me on the way down to Florida. They can't afford me. I need to find a grant writer. If I can find a grant writer, I'll break the nut, because a grant writer can put within that grant my fee.
$500 a month for what?
For initially the first 3 months was just all their finances, looking at it, are they doing it correctly? And let's figure out how to engage our current donors and putting that system in place, CRM, all of that kind of stuff. And then after that was all marketing pieces.
Yeah, I would say that you charge too low. So there's a fine line between charging low. You're going to draw a certain clientele at that level. If you were to double that or even 1,500 a month, I'm going to take, there are nonprofits that are out there that absolutely can afford that. And I know you're like, well, where do we find them? Well, we have to create a funnel. It would require a funnel to get to that. So I strongly believe, and my experience has been, it just, whoever you are reaching for, it's the way that you present the offer and the benefits. So,
so the change then, if I'm hearing you, the change would be those lower dollar people, they need to go into this group coaching and the evergreen, right?
yes.
And then these workshops, instead of $89, I'm looking at, $5,000 for a group workshop.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing like a whole group of people, like for an organization, but you could also, if you're just doing a general workshop to the public, you offer it for $4.99, but it's the way that you stack what they get that matters the most. What are they going to get for that? Another way to look at this is, yeah, you're teaching them, the money level you're teaching them to do it themselves. That's one thing, but then you can provide the done for you services. And that's a whole nother thing, right? You want to convert them from being, just a do it yourself, or they're going to try to do it themselves and they're going to be overwhelmed and they're going to say, I want someone to do this for me. Well, that's great. I can absolutely do that for you. Here's the pricing for that. So those are two different things. And it's all a part of a funnel that grows. I mean, you're going to have people at different parts of the funnel. So I know that's more strategy about what you're trying to do here. And I'd have to understand a little bit more of your business. I do want to give the others a chance to respond. It's 1:03, and I'm willing to stay on for a few minutes extra just to help out here. But Cindy's saying, Julie, what is the average return on investment of your services?
Well, I currently have in expenses about $5,000 a month, and that's not going to grow. So, to do a workshop, it's going to cost me maybe $100 in printing. That
Mhm.
kind of, there's very little cost of goods sold. If I traveled anywhere, I'd have my fee plus travel expenses.
Yeah.
So, anything after $5,000 is going in my pocket. And I say my pocket, it's going back to the business to, bring in VAs and, the hope would be, because I really don't want to coach. The hope would be once I get more clients than I want, would be to bring coaches into my firm that they don't want to find clients, they want to coach.
Right. So is it, since you don't want to do the one-on-one coaching, is there a way to convert that program to you're creating modules, and then aren't you already doing something like this where you're just connecting with them once a month?
Yeah, I have 9 coaching clients, and each one of them, some of them I meet once a week just to try to get some revenue going for them. Others that, I've been coaching them for a year, they finally have crested, and I've moved them to once a month. And then I have 5 of those 9 that we meet in I call it a CEO meeting. So
Mhm.
it's a cohort.
Okay, so it really is a program that you have.
It is a program. Now, they don't pay extra for that. And I cannot move the one-on-one to solely group coaching because my agreement with the franchisor is one-on-one coaching.
Yeah. Well, is there a limit that you can put on the amount of time that you spend in that one-on-one coaching engagement?
Yeah, 1 hour.
1 hour? Okay.
So, I'm relatively working 15 hours a month for $9,000.
Well, that's pretty good. And I would say if you wanted to scale that, I mean, if you have to have the one-on-ones, one time a month, but they're getting modules that tell them the how-to, and then you're just following up with them in that coaching session. But
Well,
you said something interesting because you talked about you want to be focused on faith-based things. Is there a way to combine the franchising with faith-based, to reaching out to faith-based people?
yeah, I am marketing to them. What I'm finding is that franchisors are not interested in me. They're very protective of their intellectual properties.
Mhm.
And I'm also finding that I'm having to jump through way too many hoops. So like the 5 from one franchisor, they don't even have a CRM. And every time I introduce something to them, it's like, oh, we're not ready for that. You're going to create heartburn.
Yeah.
Your 5 will benefit, but the other 50 won't. It's like, oh, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
That's become a frustration I don't necessarily want. So I'm focusing myself now more on large franchisees or multi-unit franchisees. That's more, I think, the market I need to go with.
Mhm.
But all right.
So I'd like some time to think about this. Does this require, I think there are some things that you can do to tweak this strategy. I need to think about it and noodle on it a little bit.
Does this make sense to anybody? Or as Angie knows, I have a tendency to overcomplicate things.
Did I
And
hear you say that you work 15 hours a month for $9,000 a month? That's $600 an hour. So obviously you're worth $600 an hour. So I don't understand why you couldn't get more than $4.99 for a workshop. Honestly, I think you undervalue yourself.
I think I fake it till I make it is how I feel I do.
I think we all have that tendency to think, well, so-and-so makes $5,000 per workshop, but I can't do that. But I think you can. I just think you have to have that. I don't know what you have to do in your brain to make yourself say, I can do that. But if you're worth $600 an hour to your group coaching clients, then surely you're worth at least $600 for an online workshop and more if you do it in person. So that's just my 2 cents.
I appreciate that, Sherry. I do. That means a lot to me. It's just me believing it, honestly. But I mean, I was at an all-day seminar yesterday and I thought it was fabulous. A lot of breakthroughs mentally for me, but I also thought I could do this.
Mm.
I could do this. I could provide this.
Yeah. Ladies, some of the ladies are jumping off, and Angela, I saw that you joined. We started at 12, so I'm sorry that we missed you.
No, I forget that I'm in a different time zone.
Yeah.
And so I just have to make that mark.
Yeah, we recorded this one, so you can go back and watch the replay on the different areas that we tackled today. All right, ladies. So we're gonna call it done, but let's revisit
Right
this.
there.
Yeah, I'm here. You cut out. Sorry.
Oh, is this weekly or monthly?
It's monthly and
Okay.
it's recorded, so we'll make sure
Oh,
that you
good.
get the replay.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, ladies. I've got to go. I got to get ready for another call, but we'll revisit this again. Okay.
Everybody.
All right.
Thanks, ladies.
Bye.